live streaming going forward now. From now on, every race, we will continue to upload the streams to the podcast places. So please tell your friends about us. Get your family involved. Formula One is the fastest growing sport in the world. There's about 100 million people just got through watching the Austrian Grand Prix. So have all your friends and family become part of it. Good morning and welcome, Formula One fans. This is your Formula One News Hour. I'm Jonathan Steele, your host, and we have a beautiful day at Silverstone, England, for the British Grand Prix. So we should have a nice, exciting race today. But first, let's start and thank our sponsors for the Formula One News Hour. One being Moms for Liberty, momsforliberty.org. Moms for Liberty wants all the parents around the United States to get involved with their parents' education. Get out there and get these teachers teaching math and English and science instead of the rubbish that they're teaching them right now that's going to be absolutely useless to them when they get out of school and go looking for a job. So please go to momsforliberty.org and tell them and join up with them and give them the money that you want to partake in making your child's education what it should be. And by Give, Send, Go. Give, Send, Go is a crowdfunding. Folks, you can't always help what happens to you in life, but you can help yourself by choosing the right partner to help you raise funds for either a tragedy in your own family or someone else's family, or maybe someone that you don't know that just needs help. Or you could be raising money to start a new venture. But please go to givesendgo.com. That is givesendgo.com. And also Thenology. Thenology is a data center in Austin, Texas. If you have co-location needs, if you have private cloud needs, public cloud needs, or maybe you just need to store some data somewhere, please give the folks at Thenology your business. That's Thenology.com. Again, Thenology.com. So we're going to go down the starting grid. At the back row, we've got Bottas and Magnussen. Strange to see Valerie back there. Then Nick de Vries and Joe Granu. On the starting 18th and 19th, then Nicky Tsunoda and Sergio Perez. Of course, Sergio Perez had a bad luck yesterday. Then Logan Sargent and Esteban Ocon starting 13th and 14th, and Lance Stroll and Nicky Hülkenberg starting 11th and 12th. Your top 10, number 9 is Fernando Alonso, number 10 is Pierre Gasly. And then you have Lewis Hamilton and Alexander Albon. The Williams teams are doing marvelous this year. Then you've got Carlos Sainz in 5th and George Russell in 6th. And then you've got Oscar Piastri, a real surprise, and Charles Leclerc in 4th. And then your starting grid is Lando Norris in 2nd and Max Verstappen on pole position. So anyway, let's get the TV turned down low here. Sorry about that. And we've got Lewis Hamilton starting in 7th, and really I guess the upgrades that they were looking for to come out of those cars 2 or 3. I think it was in Monaco where they introduced those upgrades, and just really nothing. There's been no real improvement. I say that I think Lewis has had a podium finish since then, but for the most part, I don't think that Mercedes is very happy with their upgrades. On the other hand, the McLarens have got to be ecstatic, and Williams with their upgrades, because now we've got 2 teams that have gone from really a bad start to the year to real contenders. Are they contenders for winning a Formula One? Well, if Max has a bad day, yes, but otherwise, no. But as they push his car back just a little bit. So we're about to start the formation lap. We've got all the cars on the starting grid, and everybody is on the medium tires by the looks of it, except a couple, and they took that away. And they just taken away my TV, so we'll go back here. But what I was saying is that have all got medium tires, with the exception of a couple of them. And so we're off on the formation lap. ESPN very, very kindly gave me a lot of warning, zero warning, that they were changing from ESPN Plus to ESPN 2. So anyway, we've got it back, and the formation lap is on its way. The skies are partly cloudy. Looking at the flags, there's quite a strong wind out there today, so that's going to have some effect on the cars. But it's a dry day. The track is beautifully dry. We're expecting probably a one-stop race for most of those guys that have started on the medium tire. I'm going to say they're probably looking at a one-stop. If they've started on the soft tire, and I did see a couple of them, they've taken that little banner on the side of the screen away. But I did see a couple of them starting on soft tire, which will give them an advantage in the beginning, but then they're going to have a two-stop. So anyway, a surprise last year, I guess. Carlos Sainz won the British Grand Prix, and now it's two races ago since many people believe that Lewis Hamilton deliberately took out Max Verstappen on the beginning lap. Of course, we'll never know, because we don't know what was inside Lewis Hamilton's head. But it certainly looked, when you look at the replays and things like that, it does look like that the Hamilton car deliberately touched the right rear wheel of Max Verstappen. So in the World Championships, of course, it's no competition right now. The competition really is between second and third, between Perez and Alonso. And last week, Alonso did not have a really good race. He did not make the podium. I think he came in fifth or sixth, and he didn't show a lot of pace in qualifying. And I say that he was up there in the beginning. He was leading there for a little while, as they show Lewis Hamilton's parents on the TV. Lewis, of course, his father is black and his mother is white. And if you look at Lewis's father, you will know exactly what Lewis is going to look like when in another 20 years. And we are going to get ready to go. And 3, 4, 5, and lights are out. And whoa, that was a slow getaway by everybody. Particularly Max Verstappen, and the two McLarens are going to take the lead going into the first corner. Lando Norris is ahead of Max Verstappen. That was a terrible start by Verstappen. And so we've got Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Oscar Piastri, followed by Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. But I don't know. It's like all of them were just sitting there, maybe 1-2 seconds after the fifth red light came on. If you've never been to a Formula One race, what they do is they have a series of red lights, and as each light comes on, that is signaling get ready to go. When the fifth light comes on, then it is time to go. And we are looking at Oscar Piastri giving Max Verstappen a real run for his money, and we've still got Lando Norris leading. So we're going to record for the first time in a long time that Max Verstappen is not leading a Formula One Grand Prix at the end of the first lap. Lando Norris didn't get a great start, but he got a much better start than did Max Verstappen. And Max Verstappen actually got a really bad start, so bad in fact that there was a moment there where it looked like Oscar Piastri was going to take the position away. George Russell has moved up past Carlos Sainz. Alonso has moved up past Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton has dropped back to 8th position. Pierre Gasly has moved up 1 position, and Alex Albon has dropped back 2 positions. Lance Stroll has moved up 1 position. But the big news of the day so far, folks, is, of course, Max Verstappen is not leading a Formula One Grand Prix in the second lap. It's been a long time since that happened, and quite frankly, it's good to see the competition out there and leading the way. But I do believe that Max is just sitting comfortably now. Oscar Piastri is not challenging him anymore. But it is really good to see 2 McLarens up there, first and third. It's going to be interesting to see if they can hold that for the rest of the race. I do not believe once DRS is enabled that Norris is going to be able to hold off Max Verstappen. But right now, it's not going to do Max any good to have a DRS because he just dropped to 1.08 seconds behind, 1.04 now seconds behind Lando Norris. In fact, Lando's just opened up to 1.1 seconds. So Verstappen's got to get that down to under 1 second before he can enable DRS. So let's see who's on the soft tire. George Russell's on the soft tire. Ocon and Tsunoda and De Vries. Those are your guys on the soft tires. So those guys, are looking for a 2-stop strategy. Everybody else is on medium, with the exception of Valtteri Bottas. Excuse me. Valtteri is on the hard tire. And where is Hülkenberg? He started off fairly well up there. So they're going to do a replay now, and you can see the 2 McLarens got an incredible start. And at one point, Oscar Piastri was alongside Max Verstappen. So in fact, going into the second turn, you can see that, and it's an amazing sight to see. We haven't seen it in so long, and you just really see the reaction. I'm going to show the reaction time. Norris 0.23 and Verstappen 0.26. So that 300th of a second proved to be really costly for Max Verstappen, and some nice driving by Lando right from the get-go. I mean, he pulled up alongside Max, and he took the inside of the first corner away from Max and the inside on the second corner. So there's really not much chance for Max to get through there. But like I say, I do believe this is momentary. In fact, Max now is anticipating DRS because he is now 0.7 of a second behind Lando. So you can there's a very good two or three really good places for passing, the opportunity to pass here at the Silverstone track. But and there I go again talking like I'm at Silverstone. It's just you get so wrapped up in it. But anyway, back to the race. It's going to be on the long straightaway. I would imagine that Verstappen is going to close in and take away that first position, because you can see just watching him, he's just looking and waiting and waiting and looking. So anyway, DRS, they've just come up, is now enabled. So let's see what Max does with this DRS as it's enabled when it comes down to the long straightaway. He's about a little over half a second behind. The DRS will give him about 13 to 14 kilometers an hour more. So that should, at that distance, should be plenty. And he has DRS opened, and he is going to make a move. He's just closed it, but he got up to 0.3 of a second. That was on the short straightaway that he opened it. So but Oscar Piastri also has DRS. He is just 6/12 behind Verstappen. So now we're going to see some overtaking here in just a moment. But for the time being, Lando Norris is doing a really nice job of staying out in front. Five laps in, and we still do not have Max Verstappen leading a race. This is this should go down in history, and probably will. They'll be talking about it all week, about what a wonderful start that Lando Norris got, and rightfully so. He did get a wonderful start, but he's just been moved back into second place as Max Verstappen just cruised on by him. Not a surprise there. The Red Bull car is faster than the McLaren, so we're back to the starting positions: Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, Leclerc. The difference being is George Russell moved past Carlos Sainz. But anyway, like I said, that was to be expected. I think all kudos will be given to Lando for an excellent start to the race. But at the end of the day, once DRS was enabled, it was it was only going to be a matter of, one, maybe 2 laps. I think it was a lap and a half. Before that Red Bull moved past past the McLaren. But Norris is doing a good job of staying close to him. In fact, he's only 0.6 of a second away, and so that is going to give him the DRS. And we see George Russell trying to get past Charles Leclerc right there, and George is only, let's see, no, how can he be trying, let's see. Leclerc is 2.3 seconds behind Piastri, I'm sorry. So George is, they're taking the time away from me. Let's see, he's coming in there. If that's not moving under braking, I don't know what is. So Russell radio, he's complaining about Charles, no, but he's he's 0.3 of a second behind. So it is only a matter of time before we see Russell taking away that position from Ferrari, and we see Lewis Hamilton fighting with Alonso for position back in 7th and 8th. So Alonso, of course, a very crafty guy in the car. He's been around, a veteran driver. He's been around a long time, and he knows how to hold off some. That's strange. They got the overtake award going on already. We're only 6 laps in. I would have thought that would have been around lap 45 instead of lap. So Oscar has been told to hold position. He's holding position. We go together. Okay. What they're talking about there is Piastri and Norris. Apparently, Piastri has got a slightly better car than and Lewis Hamilton just about lost it coming out of that turn right there. So what they're going to try and do is because they both got DRS, they're going to try and take first and second position away from Verstappen before he gets too far ahead. And we've still got Lewis Hamilton fighting with Alonso for that 7th position. And he has DRS, and I think he's going to take him right here, and he is. So Hamilton has taken that 7th position away, which means that I don't think that car of Alonso, excuse me, that car of Alonso is what it was at the beginning of the year, because that last race, I think he finished like 5th or 6th, and this race, if it holds up, he's going to finish 5th or 6th. Where's Sergio Perez? We're seeing a replay on Sergio Perez, and the Haas car just locked up, and Perez took him on the inside. Whoa! And Perez nearly lost it. Is why they're showing that replay. That was a really incredible piece of driving that he managed to hold on to that car as he passed the Haas going through that turn. I see what happened. The Haas car, the spoiler on the front of the Haas car, in fact, on the replay, you see it flying off. So he's going to have to come in and get that. And that was Nico Hülkenberg, and he's a little piece missing. And going back to why he nearly lost it, is Hülkenberg hit the right rear wheel of Perez. So that's what caused Perez to nearly lose it, was the fact that he got hit by another car. Let's see where he is. He's up to 13th now, so he's moved up 2 positions, and Verstappen's complaining about his car, pulling to one side. And of course, what's causing that is the wind. And the engineers quickly pointed out that the wind, as I said right at the start here, it's quite a strong wind. And they're going to be fighting that at different places in the track. They're going to be fighting that crosswind across the track. So it's going to feel like when you're driving down the road in your street car, if you've got a wheel alignment out or you've got a tire on one side, especially say the right or left front going soft, then you'll feel the car pulling that way. And that's what it feels like to these guys. And these cars are very sensitive to the wind. And we're just seeing Lewis Hamilton trying to get past, no, that wasn't Hamilton, it was Russell trying to get past Leclerc again. And it's having an effect on him. In fact, they've just come on and said wind gusts up to 35 kilometers per hour. So those are quite strong wind gusts that can have a really serious effect on these cars that are designed to go through the air very fast. If the air is not perfect, then it has an adverse effect, and that's what the drivers are complaining about right now. So Verstappen has escaped the DRS. The DRS threat from the McLarens. He's got 1.1 second ahead now, and we're on lap 10. And what the good news for McLaren is the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc is dropping back, and he's busy fighting a battle with George Russell, and so the McLarens have opened up a 3.5 second lead on the Charles Leclerc, and a 4 second lead on George Russell. Carlos Sainz is dropping back, so it looks like the Ferraris are not handling. I would say they're not handling the wind very well. That's probably what's causing their issues a little bit. So they're talking on the radio. They're talking to Zach Brown, the team principal for McLaren right now. They're not showing the text, so I can't show you. For a couple of races there, you saw me wearing little earphones that I could listen to the race on my laptop. But I'm using my laptop to live stream, so that's kind of taken away that ability. But anyway, we don't need those very professional British reporters getting in on our Formula One news hour. I do enjoy listening to them, but it's very hard to listen and to. And Esteban Ocon is in the pits, and I would say out of the race. What has happened here? That's kind of, he's out of the race. They're putting him back into the garage. Lewis Hamilton is. Why are they showing? Oh, that's the Aston Martin. That's showing Lewis Hamilton. They keep going back. They play games with my mind. They keep going back, 5-10 minutes sometimes in the race to show what happened 5-10 minutes ago. They do that when they get bored with what's going on in the race, right? So they go, okay, let's nip back a little bit and show this replay, and we can talk about that and kill some time. So let's see, we're at lap 10. So those folks on the soft tires will be coming in a couple of laps because they're good for about 11 to 15 laps, and then you've got to change. So that means George Russell's going to lose any advantage that he gained over. And it's interesting that they put Russell on the soft and Hamilton on the medium. But anyway, it's going to mean that Russell's going to drop back. Let's see. He's going to drop back probably to maybe 10th or 12th position. So maybe the two-stop strategy is not going to work out too well. So I've got smart, right? So because as you've heard me talk about the allergies in my little podcast room, so I've learned that if I have a cup of tea up here, then take some tea, then it helps with my allergies. So I do apologize. You get to see a big cup stuck in the middle of my face, but it does help me a little bit. So where are we? We're at lap 11. Verstappen now has opened up a 1.5 second lead on Lando Norris, and Lando Norris has opened up a 1.3 second lead over his teammate Piastri. But remember, Piastri got team orders to sit back there. I think that now they might let them race because they've kind of opened up a gap, or let's say Max has opened up a gap, so there's no real chance. But I think really what they're doing is protecting that second and third position. If they can protect that for another 40 laps, you'll have the two McLarens on the podium. But a long way to go yet in this race. Alex Albon has moved back up into 10th position, so that's nice to see. Alonso has dropped down to 8th. You got Hamilton in 7th. So Sergio Perez now is up to 12th. So he's moved up 3 positions. 3 positions in 12 laps. I don't think that Perez has the car to get him onto the podium today. We're tracking the rain, but it's going to miss us on the radar. So they're talking about rain, and you can see the rain clouds. Actually, you can see the rain. If you've ever looked out your window and you see the rain and the dark mist of the rain on the skyline, then that's what's showing up right now on the TV screens here. So rain is over in the area of Silverstone, but not at the Silverstone track itself. So. It's also, if you heard me talk, if you heard the podcast yesterday, of course, Wimbledon is going on, and of course I was watching a little bit of Wimbledon before the race started. The thing I noticed also today was last week we did not have the grid walk, and we did not have the grid walk again today. Who is that? Lewis. That's Sergio Perez has just gone past Lance Stroll. So that's very interesting. Anyway, it's back to the grid. Can we make a plan and work currently? Yes, I think so. Norris on the radio. I guess what they're probably talking about is pit strategy, because they're not going to catch Max Verstappen, and they've got a good lead on Charles Leclerc. George Russell's going to have to come in a couple of laps, which is going to put him back. Hamilton now, he was gaining on Carlos Sainz, but now he's dropped back. He's 3.5 seconds back. Alonso has dropped 2 seconds behind Hamilton. Gasly is putting Alonso under pressure right now. And in fact, I think we're going to see Gasly move on past Alonso here in the next lap. He's going to get DRS, and he's very close. He's less than half a second behind Alonso. So I think Alonso is going to lose out. So something's happened with the Aston Martins. These last 2 races, they have just not been as quick as they were, and it's showing up on the results. Alonso is going to be back down in 9th position, and where is Lance Stroll? Lance Stroll is in 12th position, so they're going to be in danger of not even making anything. And Max Verstappen's talking about it's very difficult to drive in the wind, which probably means the wind has picked up some. I wonder why Gasly didn't use his DRS right there, because he's really, really close. He's probably saving it for the long straightaway as they come down through the chicane, not the chicane, it's really an S-bend type thing. So now we're going to see, no, okay. They keep giving you false hopes, and then they take away it. And false hope being that you get to see a really good pass or stuff like that. But it is fun. The way they put the cameras on these cars now is really slick. And so George Russell, he's got to be coming in. Who is he behind? It's not Carlos Sainz, because that's not a Ferrari. I can only see the back of the car, so I can't see. Oh, it is Carlos Sainz. But so he's climbed back up there. So something got to be going on with that Carlos Sainz car. But George is going to have to come into the pit anyway. And we see Gasly with DRS on Alonso. But sorry, I was watching the replay there on George Russell trying to get past the Ferrari, and it didn't work. So now we get a nice shot of the Manchester City football manager in the pits at the Silverstone Formula One race, in the pits with the Mercedes. I don't know why we needed to see that, but obviously it was very important that the cameras take that shot. And really the real reason, of course, was because right now we're kind of in like a little boring spot in the race, and those British professional commentators need something to talk about. So that's what they're getting to talk about. That's kind of interesting. They've got a camera strung across on the chicanes there. They've got, between buildings, they've got a camera. And Verstappen has just come on the radio and said that there is light drizzle. Interesting. And you can see it actually right there. I'm talking like you can see it. Well, maybe you are following along. I hope you're following along with us. Anyway, you can see the drizzle behind some of the stands. You can see the rain. So let's see how this affects. And you can actually see now some damp spots showing up on the track. So it's going to be an interesting 5 or 10 minutes here. There's still blue skies, so whatever water is coming down, and you can see some serious cloud cover there over the one section close to the track. So anyway, back to it. You can see there are some damp spots, but for the most part, the track is still dry, most of it. So that nothing changes with the weather, then they're going to stay out on the tires that they have. And talking of nothing changing, the only thing that's changing is Max Verstappen has opened up a 3.3 second lead on Lando Norris, and the McLarens in total have opened up a 4-second lead on the Ferraris. So obviously the changes McLaren has made to those cars has really paid off. They've got some real serious speed in them. So 16 laps in, Ocon's out, of course. Hulkenberg is in dead last because he had to stop and get a new front end put on his car. Tsunoda's having a tough day. That's kind of interesting and strange. The Williams are doing okay. They're in 10th, and you see me looking over the top of my camera to get there's an info band on the side of the TV, and so the camera's right in the way of it, so I kind of look up and look down. Anyway, and Logan Sargent is back in 13th, is what I was doing, looking over the camera to find out where Logan Sargent was. So much better day for Logan Sargent, because he was typically down there in 19th and 20th. So he got the upgrades to the car, and he is showing that it was the car and not his abilities that was really hindering his positions of moving up in grid positions. So we're watching a replay of Sergio Perez actually going by. I'm gonna think that was Alex Albon that he just went by, putting him into 10th position. So he's moved up 5 positions. So he's doing a nice job. Yeah, and I was right. They'd have just showed the end. It was Perez going past Albon. So let's see, where can Perez end up? Maybe 4th. I'm going to guess probably 5th. Because Charles Leclerc, although he's slipping, he's now 4.2 seconds behind the McLaren of Oscar Piastri. He is still doing a good job of holding off George Russell, who has still not come in for tires. and he's running on the ragged edge now. This is lap 17, and I think those tires really are done. Absolutely done by lap 17. So George Russell's doing an excellent job of managing his tires and trying to get past Charles Leclerc. He's got DRS open again, going down these grandstand straights, and of course he's not making any real inroads, because with 17 laps on those tires, he just doesn't have the grip that Lando Norris has on those Charles Leclerc. Sorry. Carlos Sainz. I know it's tough trying to remember all these cars and all these drivers, but we'll try anyway. Anyway, back to the race. So now, yeah. So he's just dropped 1.8 seconds behind now. So he's gone from having DRS on the last lap trying to pass him. All of a sudden, he's dropping back significant, and Sainz is just coming on thinking, we are thinking of plan B. What was plan B? I forgot. I'll let you know. That's good. The drivers know what plan B is, the engineers don't. That's typical of Ferrari, isn't it? It's no wonder the strategists and everybody are no good at Ferrari, because they're never in tune and sync with the drivers. It's amazing. Whereas you take something like Red Bull, the teams, the strategies, and everything, that it's just amazing. Last week we saw the Red Bull, and in comes this is Charles Leclerc coming in. He's on hard. He was on the soft tires. So that makes sense. Lap 19. That's pretty good. So we're going to see, Leclerc drops down to 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Yeah, he's going to drop way down. So is George Russell. What did he go to? I think he's gone to the hard. So two-stop strategy here. He can't finish. He's got, maybe he can. Anyway, he's got 32, 33 laps. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he should be able to get to the end. So maybe the two-stop strategy, going from soft to hard. If you're on the medium, excuse me. If you're on the medium, then obviously you're on a two-stop strategy. So, whoa, the skies are looking mighty black right now. It's crazy how dark it looks over there. But nobody's complaining of any rain. And they did say earlier that the rain would come close to the track, but it wouldn't actually hit the track. Of course, if I saw a Ferrari pit, I guess we just stick to our strategy. Yes, no concern for the moment, Max. That was Max talking to his team. So that's Hannah Schmidt talking to him. Or did Hannah actually talk to him? I don't think so. Probably his race engineer is the one that talks to, and Hannah is the one that is the strategist. If you remember last year, she was Engineer of the Year for Formula One. So that was a very nice award and a very nice thing for Ferrari. For Formula One to do each year, is hand out Engineer of the Year as well, because the engineers sit back there, they get none of the glory, but they do get all of the junk. Just ask all of the Ferrari team from last year. I mean, they ended up getting rid of the team principal who had been with them for 25 years. He started as an entry-level engineer, ended up as team principal, and strategies weren't right. And of course, it's always the boss that gets the blame. Yes, it's always the boss. Not making the calls, but he gets the blame. Because at any time, the boss can override what's going on right now. So Russell has got to pit, because if he doesn't pit, now he's going to be losing so much time to Charles Leclerc. How many laps can I do at this pace? I'm happy, I'm consistent. If I can keep going, I will. That is Lando Norris to his pits. George Russell, they're trying to show his tires. His tires look in pretty good condition. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, folks. So he's staying out there, but he is losing time. So I don't know how much longer that they're going to have him out there. Yeah. Well, let's see. No. Oh no, Russell. What am I thinking? That was Hamilton that they were showing the tires, not Russell. Anyway, back to the race. So Max Verstappen, we've just had a fastest lap. It's strange that it's been a while since we had a fastest lap. Notification of a fastest lap. In fact, this is the first one, and we're at lap 20. So fastest lap right now belongs to Max Verstappen. No surprise there, as he continues to open up a gap on Lando Norris. George Russell, they're still showing on the screen in fourth. Something's wrong. Maybe no. I thought I saw Russell come in and change to the hard tire, but no, I'm thinking of Charles Leclerc. Sorry, losing track here, folks. It's the old brain. It happens at times. But anyway, we are managing to stay upright, and upright right now has Sergio Perez now in 9th position, so that from 15th, so he's gained 6 positions. Albon's back in 10th, and Stroll has moved up to 11th. Alonso has continues to hold off Pierre Gasly, so that's really some. Like I said, Alonso is an old veteran, a strategist. He knows how to keep folks behind him, but so he's doing a good job. And it's really interesting looking at the track right now. You look at from one camera angle, it's a beautiful day at Silverstone, England, and then you see another camera angle, and it looks like the heavens are about to open up, like this one right here. Black clouds galore, and you think it's got to be pouring rain. Of course, the cameras see a long way off into the distance. When you are standing on a piece of flat ground, if you're standing on, like if you go out into West Texas, where it's very flat, and you're just standing on a road, you can see about 9 to 11 miles ahead of you. So those cameras, some of them are 20 feet off the ground. So those cameras are probably seeing about 20 to 30 miles out. But you can see the rain. I'm just looking at it right there behind the grandstand buildings. You can see the rain moving across behind the track. So they're getting really, really lucky that they're not getting some of that rain actually falling on the track. So what they're predicting, what would happen if George Russell was to pit now, and he would drop back to half a second behind Charles Leclerc, and Verstappen just did another fastest lap. Charles Leclerc is in 12th, so right behind Lance Stroll. So of course he's pitted, and all the folks on the medium tires have not. So if we say 21 seconds, he would go 2, 4, 6, 7, 12, 14. He would end up, when everybody pits, he's going to end up in 4th position, back behind Piastri, which is where he was when he pitted. So the pit really hasn't done him any harm, and it hasn't done him any good. So I don't understand though why, because George Russell now has dropped 5 seconds behind Oscar Piastri. Why they're keeping him out there that long on tires that he really shouldn't be driving on anymore. Those tires that, like I said earlier, 17 laps is like, you better get rid of me now. And he's got 23 laps, moving on 24 laps on his tires. And for all of you that want to know, yes, I am British, but I don't drink English tea. I actually drink Chinese green tea. And that comes from my days in the oil industry, when I spent a lot of time in China. And I was on one project in northwest China, and every morning they used to give us a thermos of green tea to take to the job site with us. So yeah, it was really nice, and it kind of got me hooked on green tea. That was actually 25 years ago. Time does fly. I've got a warning for all you young folks out there. Time goes by really, really fast. You're 25, 28 now, you're going to wake up and suddenly you're in your late 50s, and then you're going to wake up again and suddenly you're into your 70s. Our time here is short, and it goes by very, very fast. When we're young, we don't think so. But let me tell you, it goes by very, very fast. And I'm fascinated by this camera that they have that goes right across there, and they get these overhead shots right there. That was a nice idea somebody had to string that camera up there. It means you don't have to put a helicopter up there. That camera costs probably, get that camera up there and all the labor and everything, excuse me, all the labor and everything, probably costs, you know, maybe 1 hour of a helicopter. It's really strange. It's coming up. What time is it here? It's coming up 9:45. So that means it is 4:45 in the UK. And looking at the skies, it looks like, I remember the skies, obviously growing up there, what they used to look like at 10 o'clock at night where I grew up. And it's kind of light. It looks like that now. So those dark clouds are having a really darkening effect on the whole track right now. It's very interesting to watch it, we have reached a fairly boring stage of the race. There's no tire changes going on. There's no passing going on. Lando Norris is talking to his pits, but they're not showing me what he's saying. And so we're probably going to see some replays coming up here, because those highly professional Sky Sports commentators are going to have something to talk about, because they too will be getting bored with what is happening right now. This is not an unexciting race. The race is very good. You get this in stages in Formula One, where things settle out for 5 or 8, 10 laps, and literally you're watching cars go around and around and around. When I say nobody's got DRS, I'm looking at the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc as he tries to go past Lance Stroll. He did not manage it, but that's the most exciting thing that's happening. Of course, Leclerc's got on new hard tires, and Lance Stroll's got on old medium tires. So the medium tire changing will be coming up here soon, probably in another 5 to 7 laps. So we will see some excitement and changes in position as the tire changes happen here in the next few laps. What's interesting is that Verstappen has opened up a sizable lead now, 6.5 seconds, and Charles Leclerc has just gone past Lance Stroll. But back to Verstappen, he's opened up a 6.5 second lead on Lando Norris. And Piastri has opened up a 5.6 second lead on George Russell. But George Russell is about to pit. But I keep saying that. I don't know how he's getting so much. We keep awarding. Remember a few races ago, I used to give the Tire Management Award to. Well, I'm going to give the Tire Management Award now to George Russell, because he's doing an absolutely beautiful job of managing those tires. Being 26 laps out there, we're on lap 27, so he's already got 10 laps more out of those tires than what you think of as the dead end lap of 17. So and we've still got Pierre Gasly chasing Fernando Alonso, and now we've got the tire changing coming up. The first one's coming in, and that is Carlos Sainz. So he's being told to box. Box means I don't know why they came up with box, but because it's pit. But that changed a long time ago, and so we now have the first of the medium tires coming off. As Carlos Sainz comes down pit road. Let's see what kind of a pit stop we get out of these guys, as they're all the way at the end right down there. He's about to pull in, and he's going to stop right now. And stop, off, on, go. Very good. 2.7, 2.4. Wow, really good. Nice work, pit crew. So let's see where he ends up finishing out, because Hamilton, of course, will, unless he has a bad pit stop, will come out ahead of him, because he has a 5 second or had a 5 second lead on him. But So what that did, of course, was move everybody up. Everybody except the top four moved up one position. So let's see where they brought Carlos back out. He came out in 12th position. So as all of the others cycle through the pit stops, he'll end up back in 5th position. So let's see, it's 27 laps in. Verstappen still got the fastest lap. Lando Norris is coming on the radio asking how are hard tires looking on the others. Hard tire doesn't look amazing, but it's our best option, says his pit crew. Okay. And I'm seeing, it looks, maybe it's just where the cars have been, but it looks like in some spots on the track, there is a little dampness. So maybe there was some light drizzle, and the cars, of course, can handle on those tires as long as they're not trying to get through the corners too fast. They can handle a little bit of dampness on the track, but not a lot. So, and now Verstappen's got an 8-second lead. So at this pace, he's going to what? He's going to finish 30. No, he's going to no. Sorry. He's going to finish about 20 seconds ahead as we're coming up to about let's see, 16:56. So we're a little over halfway through the race. We've got 28 to 52 laps behind us, so Hulkenberg's still dead last. Well, he's not dead last because Ocon's out, but of the cars running, he's dead last. If you remember, he very nicely touched the nose. We're watching a replay here, and I think what we're looking at is Lando Norris's tires, which look to be in very good condition right now. The wear and tear seems to be perfect. So that's Russell. Now they're bringing George Russell in now. So amazing. He's on lap 30. So that's so he certainly gets the tire management award, at least for Silverstone. So he's at pit lane right now. So let's see how quickly his team can get those old wheels off and the new ones on. Stop, off, on. Little delay there, maybe 3 seconds. That's, yeah, ooh, no more, 3.9. What happened there? That was, you could see something held him up. But so we got Clerk up to 8th, behind Alex Albon, who has moved up to 7th. And George Russell came out in, where is he? They haven't given him, they're bringing Piastri in now for tire changes. So, right, it's lap 30. So I said they'd bring everybody in. So Russell came back out in 9th position ahead of Lance Stroll, and ahead of Carlos Sainz. So Sainz is stuck behind Lance Stroll. So he's going to move back up into 4th position after the tire rotation. So they're bringing out the tires and wheels for, I'm assuming this is Piastri, because they told him to box. Excuse me. Have a little more tea, John. As he comes down pit lane. And into pit lane he comes, and they're all the way down at the other end of pit lane, which is a good place to be. And in and stop, off, on, go. All right, that's very nice. 2.3, 2.4. Yeah, right at 2.4. So very nicely done there. So he's back right now in pit exit. He's in 5th, 6th. He's going to come in ahead of he's come in very nicely done. So we've just seen now Carlos Sainz has taken over fastest lap. He's in 11th position. So very nice work. He's going to end up back in 3rd place. Let's see, 11 and 7. 18. Yeah, he's gonna end up back about 1.2, 1.3 seconds ahead of Hamilton in third place when the tire changing is done. Max Verstappen, actually, if he stays out there, who we got coming? George Russell. Oh, it's a replay. That's just a So, they're showing the left front wheel. They had trouble with the left front wheel getting it off. Is what caused the issue there on the pit stop. So, so this is the time of the race, of course, like I said, where you get through these boring stops. So I got to be sharp and look out for these replays because it's how the Sky Sports guys kind of fill their time when there's not a lot to talk about on the track. Then they fill it with replays and stuff like that. So they actually, I'm sure there's somebody in the background there that's queuing them up. And George Russell has just taken over the fastest lap. So I'm sure there's some guys in the background that are queuing up replays. And the director, when he sees the commentators running out of things to talk about, then they fill in with replays. And we're seeing, who is this? Oh, it was George Russell trying to pass Charles Leclerc, and he's doing it on a turn. Wow, nice driving, George. Took it on the outside. So Leclerc, of course, is on a lot older tires than Russell. But now we've got both Ferraris, which started up there in the third and fifth position, now back in ninth and 10th. So there's something not quite right at Ferrari, because I think both drivers are better than that. But we still got some, and we just seen the McLaren of Piastri go by Gasly. So that's got Piastri back up into fifth, and Alonso and Hamilton have got to pit. So, but that's the new tires showing up there for Piastri. Now we've got 32 laps on these medium tires, and now we've got Gasly came into the pits after that, realizing that the tires were just not going to hold up any longer. And now we've got Lance Stroll about to come into pits. Gasly had an incredible pit stop, by the way, 2.3 seconds. Lance Stroll off, on. Great, nice stop, 2.3, 2.4, 2.3, right on the money. So very nice. So this is the exciting part of the race for today is the tire changing. We did have, I take that back, the first 4 or 5 laps were really nice and interesting, but we've really settled into, we don't see a lot of overtaking anymore. Perez has dropped back into 10th. He was up there at 9th at one time, but he is still, wow, look at that. Perez is on soft tires, and we have got another Haas car on fire. The other day, the Haas car was on fire. So it's Magnussen's car is on fire. So now we're going to have a yellow flag. This is really, really good news for those guys that had not pitted yet. Hamilton and Alonso, get out of the car, buddy. So yeah, because now they're going to pit under yellow virtual. They're bringing out a virtual yellow and not a virtual car. So let's see if that holds up. But now, of course, you got everybody coming in onto pit lane. Alex Albon, Charles Leclerc. So Leclerc's on the 2 pit stop. This is his second stop. So hey, very nice. Well, why not? Why not get a new set of tires right here? And Albon got out ahead of him. So obviously that's interesting. Now, Albon had a 3.5 second pit stop and Leclerc 2.5. So how he managed to stay out ahead of him, I don't know, but he did. And so with a virtual safety car, Hamilton's going to come in now and get his tires changed. Sorry, I was trying to see what's going on with Lando Norris. I would have thought they would bring him in and Verstappen but they have not. Yeah, now they're bringing Verstappen in now, kind of late, I would have thought. Although probably what they were looking at, that car stalled. They know it's going to be a 4 or 5 lap safety car, and Hulkenberg is stuck in pit lane for some reason. Oh, he had a 4 second pit stop. Verstappen is coming down. These guys are not good. They're the best. The Red Bull time, Verstappen 2.7 seconds. That's really not the best today. 2.3 has been the best. So they're in position. They're ready to go. They're going to get Lando Norris. Stop. Off. On. Done. 2.4, 2.5, 2.2. John, you're getting bad. That was not very good. Yes, for those of you that don't know, I Jonathan Steele, but sometimes I just go into John, and it's Jon, by the way. So now we've about Hamilton had a 3.2 second pit stop, and so now is he going to get ahead of Piastri or no? Stay ahead. Right now they're showing him ahead, but I don't think, although the virtual safety car will help on that. So he might have bumped Piastri off the podium, but the McLarens are faster than the Mercedes today. So I would expect that Piastri can take that position back. When they show the times, we'll be able to see exactly how much time they've got. Carlos Sainz talking on the radio to his team, but I can't pick up what it is they're saying because the transcriber is not working. The car is still stuck out there. I wonder why there wasn't even a truck out there yet to pick it up. What's interesting is that car is off to one side, so it's not dangerous. But you would have thought, oh, now comes the safety car. All right, so that's what we've been waiting for. We do, in fact, now have a full safety car condition and not a yellow flag virtual safety car condition. So it's going to be pretty boring here for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're not going to pick the car up at all. They're pushing it off the track and behind some... excuse me, and behind some advertising banners right there, so it's off the track. So it's something just absolutely locked up his right rear wheel, and it looks like there's flames coming out. So excuse me, they're showing a replay, and he gets it off to. So why didn't he pull it off the road altogether? He had plenty of time. He could have pulled it off the road to where the guys pushed it. So it's going to be interesting why he didn't do that. I mean, he had plenty. Look, right there, he could have just whoop, right off the track. But no, he stays on the track, causes a safety flag and all the safety car and all that kind of stuff. And he could have just pulled it off, let the race keep going. But no. I wish they'd give me some times. Okay, so Verstappen's on soft. Let's see, 35. So is Hamilton. Piastri's on hard. Norris is on hard. They're showing that car. It's off the track. Maybe they're going to pick it up and move it away completely. Because if somebody does lose it and hits that car, then that causes more serious damage. They're pulling out the cranes now to go pick it up. Anyway, it's the tire selection: Verstappen on soft, Norris on hard, Hamilton on soft, Piastri on hard, Russell on medium, Alonso on soft, Sainz on hard, Perez and Albon on soft. This is some very, very, very interesting strategy going on here. So I wish they'd give me well, there's no point in giving the time distance because with a safety car, they all pull up and get close to each other. So it's going to be a mad dash restart, so Yeah, they're all back to back to back to back. It's showing Verstappen just ahead of Norris, who's just ahead of Hamilton, who's just ahead of Piastri. As I was mentioning earlier on some of this strategy, it's interesting to see what the different cars are doing with the tires right now. Because if they've gone to the soft tires are good for about, well, we just saw what was his name again? Come on, George Russell. George Russell went for 30 laps, and there's right at 24 laps left, so 26 laps left. So yeah, I guess they feel that the soft tire can make it to the end. I think it would have been safer. I think the McLarens have probably done the safe thing, but who's going to question Hannah Schmidt, right? Not me. That's the genius strategist behind the Red Bull success. So, and we're watching the replay of George Russell. We're going to get lots of replays here now, folks. We're watching George Russell pass Charles Leclerc on the outside. So obviously that Mercedes has got plenty of grip to be able to go past on the outside like that. And obviously George Russell trusts that his car will maintain that grip. But right now we're under a virtual safety car while they move the while they move the Haas. And it's being picked up right now as we speak and put on the back of the flatbed crane. And then they will haul that thing off. So we're on lap 36. We should be back. They'll pull the safety car off on lap 38. So 2 more laps of this because it will take literally less than half a lap for that truck to get that car back up. And during the race, they just pick him up and move him to a safe place. They don't bother trying to get him back to the pits. These cars are powered by battery and by gas engines, V6 engines. So they have to be very careful with them when they pick them up because of a back charge of electric power can come back through that car and cause serious damage to anybody that happens to be touching it. So they're very careful with them and how they handle them. But Perez is up to 8th position now, and I think I said maybe he would get up to 5th or 6th. That I didn't think that he would get back any closer than that. And now they're showing the replay again. Remember, I said we'd be doing lots of replays. But what impressed me was the getaway that both McLarens, Lando Norris ended up taking first place, but both McLarens did an excellent job. Piastri showing how and why they pulled him in and let Danny Ricciardo go last year, because he very, very nearly he was alongside Verstappen on the restart, and he very nearly took that second place away from Verstappen after Verstappen had lost first place to Lando Norris. So excuse me, we're going to see some fun at the restart. I'm going to be particularly interested in Piastri and Hamilton, and Hamilton and Lando Norris. Does I don't think anybody's going to get ahead of Max Verstappen, but does Hamilton have the wherewithal to get past Piastri? And while he's trying to do that, past Lando Norris, and while he's doing that, does Piastri have the wherewithal to take advantage of that and get past Hamilton? So right now, you've got the Mercedes running up in 3rd and 5th. So it's only, 10, 15 laps ago, maybe not even that they were down in 8th and 9th. And in 9th position right now is Albon. Perez is in 8th, and Carlos Sainz is in 7th. Where is Valtteri Bottas? Valtteri Bottas is in 14th. So this year has just been dismal for Valtteri Bottas. Actually, it's been dismal for Alfa Romeo because his teammate is not doing any better. He's all the way back there in 18th. So Hulkenberg's in 17th. So we are status 4 until the end for Carlos Sainz. Yeah, that's what Carlos is saying, and then that his team is agreeing with him. Whoa, the safety car ran off the track right there. So when the safety car is out there, they had a really nice interview with a safety car driver last week, I think it was. And that safety car is actually going as fast as it can. This week it's Mercedes. They alternate between Mercedes and Aston Martin, and the drivers complain because the Aston Martin's a little too slow. So they're ending the safety car. So the safety car driver was saying that car is going as fast as he can drive it. So, down the straightaways, that's probably 140, 150 miles an hour. But in the corners, he has to slow way down because he doesn't have anywhere near the grip or the aerodynamics that the Formula One cars have. And they're running out of things to do when they start showing like movie stars and, parents and actors and football managers and all that kind of stuff. So, and I predicted lap 38 for the safety car to come off. And in fact, lap 38 is when the safety car is coming off. Sorry, lap 39, lap 38 is in the book. So I was off by 1 lap. So anyway, safety car in this lap. And so now we're going to have an exciting few minutes here as we go to the restart. Max Verstappen is getting pretty close to that safety car. And he will dictate when. Now he's letting the safety car get way ahead because he wants the maneuver to. And the lead car dictates the restart. So he's going to. He's got to be starting again. He's waking up his tires, and off he goes. And so now he's going through the turn, going back down the straight. He'll come around to the grandstand in just a moment, and we'll signal the beginning of the race again. And of course, they're all nose to nose now, or nose to rear end, I should say, for the restart. And we're watching Lewis Hamilton. He's already thinking about getting a jump on Lando Norris. But Lando Norris looks like he's going to hold it off. And let's see, is he? It's going to be touch and go. But some nice driving there. What's interesting is Piastri has not put any pressure at all on Lewis Hamilton. Whoa, there was a big puddle of water right there. Where did that come from? Anyway, we just saw, and Lewis Hamilton is alongside. Yeah, interesting. He nearly got Lando Norris, but not quite. So, and of course, it's only 2 races ago that we saw they don't have DRS yet, but they do have slipstream. And so the McLaren just showed that it has extra speed and extra grip. He came out of that corner quite a bit ahead of Lewis Hamilton that time. Some beautiful driving by Lando Norris, who's already lost 1.8 seconds to Verstappen, and Piastri's lost 3 seconds already to Lewis Hamilton. So Piastri needs to put some stick into it, and it's showing George Russell 3 seconds behind Piastri. So the McLaren does have better pace than the Mercedes. So there should be no reason why Piastri does not get up onto the tail of Lewis Hamilton. And I was looking at, they just showed that Max Verstappen's turned in a 131 on those tires. So that's for a race speed. Of course, they've burned through a lot of fuel and everything. But what is going on with Piastri and Ross? They're dropping way behind. We're seeing Hamilton challenging, and oh, is he going to get him? Is he? No, is he? No. Trying. There's some beautiful driving going on, but he's not going to get him. That McLaren's just got too much. And so that's going to be about it, I think, for challenges until DRS is re-enabled. So we should get, we're on lap 40. So lap 41, we will get DRS re-enabled. And apparently we had an incident involving Stroll or leaving the track. That McLaren is so quick on those hards, it's impressive. That is George Russell talking to his box. So now they're showing the real times now. So I don't know what they were showing before. So Lewis Hamilton is 0.8 behind Lando Norris. Piastri is just a second behind, and DRS is enabled now. So what we're going to see though is all these cars are so close together. We're going to see a DRS train here because everybody's got DRS, with the exception of Lando Norris, who's 2 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So I would say that that unless he can find something, get a second ahead of him. I don't know. Hamilton does have DRS, and so do all the cars behind. Everybody's got DRS wide open. So Hamilton's 7/10 behind. Piastri now is in DRS range of Hamilton. I'm going to show something that happened here with Lance Stroll. Let's see. He went completely off the track. And he took a position away from Gasly, and so he was off the track when he took that position, so he has to give that position back. Gasly backed out to be safe, so we've got Hamilton with DRS wide open. Piastri does not, so it's really interesting to see what's going on here. And now we've got vote for driver of the day. It's going to be tough, actually, because there wasn't any spectacular driving from anybody to speak of. So we got 10 laps left. So that's about 12 or 13 minutes left in the race. And Hamilton is still challenging Norris. We've got Carlos Sainz challenging Alonso, and we've got Albon challenging Perez. But they've all got DRS, so nobody's going anywhere. Everybody's got DRS, so it doesn't really give anybody any advantage right now. They'll be stuck like that. The only things that might, at this stage, we've got so many different tires, and now Verstappen is complaining about his tires, and he's got 9 laps to go, but he's saying that tire does not feel that good. Hamilton is really pushing and challenging Lando Norris, but I think the McLaren has got just a little too much for the Mercedes. I am, however, impressed a little bit with the Mercedes, because if you remember a little while ago, I was just saying that the upgrades to the car didn't seem to be really paying off that much. But right now it looks like our podium's going to be Verstappen, Norris and Hamilton. And Piastri's going to lose out unless he can find some magic. He's got the car. Now, is he the driver that can hang on? We'll find out. But it looks like that Hamilton is giving up. In fact, he's out of DRS range now. No, he's not. But he didn't try and use DRS. That's interesting. And Piastri is out of DRS range. He's at 1.4 seconds behind Hamilton. But Hamilton coming up again there. Maybe he's thinking that he can get it. Let's see if he's got DRS open now. And this is on the long straightaway. Does he have enough to get through? No, he doesn't. So we've got some exciting times here towards the end of the race, which is nice to see. And the stewards are looking at Stroll leaving the track and gaining an advantage. No further investigation. Interesting. They must think that Gasly forced Stroll off the track. So because they're not they're not making him give that back. But they are handing out black and white flags to Stroll for exceeding the track limits. Of course, that was obvious. He left the track completely. Hamilton again with DRS. He keeps getting up, but he's losing it. The McLaren's better in the turns than the Mercedes, so he's able to gain in the turns. And we're watching Perez fighting, and he is, in fact, is he going to take 7th? Yeah, no. Well, let's see. He's gone back on the inside, and now he takes 7th position away from Carlos Sainz, and we're going to watch Alex Albon take away the 8th position from Carlos Sainz right here, and he has. They haven't showed it on the screen yet, but Alex Albon just took away the 8th position from Carlos Sainz, and Carlos Sainz is taking away the 9th position from his teammate Charles Leclerc. So those Ferraris dropping well back in the field now versus where they were at the start of the race. Whereas the Mercedes, we've got to give them a little bit of credit, although it does not look like now that Piastri is going to be able to get past Hamilton, and Hamilton is not going to be able to get past. And is that who is that on the? It's Logan Sargent. Something's got to be up with those Ferraris because Logan Sargent is, and now that's Pierre Gasly going past the Ferraris. That's really interesting. Sorry, Pierre Gasly was going past the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. Alonso has moved up into 6th position, right behind George Russell, but I don't think we're going to, with just 8 laps left to go. Wait a minute, what? That's Lance Stroll coming up on Lance Stroll coming up on Logan Sargent, I think. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any changes in position now. Verstappen, although he doesn't like his tyres, has opened up a 3.5 second lead on Norris. Hamilton has got a 1.5 second lead, 1.7 second lead on Piastri, although Piastri does seem to be holding and maybe closing that gap. Nah, maybe not. What is interesting though is that Lando Norris is opened up a nice comfortable gap between himself and Hamilton. So nothing changes. I don't think anything's going to change. Everybody's got DRS, and if you don't use DRS, then you're going to get passed. So everybody's using DRS, and we're watching Pierre Gasly go by the Ferrari. What is wrong with that Ferrari? That he just passed Carlos Sainz, and now Sainz is going to try and take the position back. But let's see if he manages it. Yes, he did. So that just shows you the effects of the DRS. They can swap positions backwards and forwards. But let's get back to driver of the day. I would vote for Oscar Piastri just because 1, he's a rookie, and 2, he's managed to stay up there in the top 5 all day long. Other than when he changes tires, but that's to be expected. But a nice drive by that young driver, and just an incredible day for McLaren, because if you remember, they what's going on there? He's fighting something. Someone in his car is really fighting. Is it Pierre Gasly? It looks like Pierre Gasly is really, it is. Pierre Gasly fighting something in that car. I would imagine that they're showing the engineers now. So I would say that he's probably going to come in and pit. And we've got Sergio Perez now challenging Alonso for that 5th position, which would put him right about where I said he would end up the day. I said around 5th, 6th position. He's in 7th right now. He has DRS. So I think it's just a matter of time. The Red Bull car's better than the Mercedes. Mercedes, I don't know what changes they've been making on those Mercedes the last couple of races, but they should go back to where it was. Certainly 3-4 races ago, because they were making the podiums every time, and he has Perez with, and he's going to pass him on the inside. So Perez now moves up to 6th position, and Alonso drops to 7th. So you could maybe give driver of the day to Perez. He's started 15th and made up right at he's 15th. Now he's 6th, so you could say he's made up 9 positions. But you would expect that out of that car. So I don't know whether you could say, yeah, that's the right thing to do. Oh, I see what happened. Gasly got bumped off the track is what happened from Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll, back to his old ways, bumping people and running in. There he goes. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's fighting to keep the car going after Lance Stroll bumped into him. Lance is well known for bumping into other cars, especially the Aston Martins. Remember what he did to that was some actually nice driving by Gasly to save that car. Last year he bumped into Alonso. He put himself out of the race, but Alonso ended up coming in 5th. So now Alex Albon is challenging Alonso, and he has DRS. So we might see Alex Albon coming up into 7th position, and Logan Sargent is back there in 12th. But just a good day for the Williams teams, really, a really good day, but an even better day for the McLaren. So, and they've got Gasly coming into pit lane, and he is done for the day. So whatever happened to him when they got ran into, they're looking at the right rear of the car. So something on the right rear got damaged when he got hit by Lance Stroll. So Lance Stroll, I'm sure, is going to end up having an interview with the stewards, but also right now he's showing in 11th position. They'll knock off 10 seconds, which is going to put him back all the way down in 17th position. So that's where he's going to end up losing it. They've just given a black and white flag to George Russell for exceeding track limits. So that's very interesting. I don't know why he would be. We're back to the movie stars. I don't know who it is. I'm not big up on movies, so I don't know. Oh, it's Shakira, whoever Shakira is. I have no idea. But apparently, whoever she's talking to thinks she's famous. And of course, the camera guy thinks she's famous. And of course, those professional commentators over on Sky Sports, they'll be talking about how famous she is. And I have no idea who she is. So anyway, probably just showing my age. Probably some rock star or something, singer. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, back to the race, because we've only got 3 laps left. And so Lando Norris is in the lead for driver of the day, followed by Hamilton and Piastri. So that's interesting. I would not have given them the driver of the day. Piastri, yes. But, we're not seeing anything spectacular out of Hamilton. You expect him up to be there. You expect him to be up there, and also Lando Norris. But you do have to take your hat off to Lando Norris for the first 4 or 5 laps that he did lead today. He got a really good start. He outperformed on the start over Max Verstappen. Yes. So when we're looking at position changes, Hamilton's come up 4 places. Piastri's lost 1. Perez has come up to 9 positions. He's come up. And the Ferraris have lost 5 positions. Alonso's come up 2 positions. And Russell's come up 1 position. So actually, not, other than Hamilton and Perez, no real surprises from qualifying. Everybody's kind of where they were. Gasly, Magnussen, and Ocon are out of the race. Gasly, through no fault of his own, I'm sure there's going to be some words had with Lance Stroll. So we can comfortably predict that our podium today is going to be Verstappen, Norris, and Hamilton. This will put, I think, Verstappen will be tied for the largest number, or Red Bull will be tied for the largest number of consecutive first place finishes in Formula One. Lance Stroll has a penalty. How long is it going to be? But only 5 seconds. Wow, interesting. But still, 5 seconds is going to put him back in 13th or 14th position. So let's see where he is right now. Oh, yeah, no. 5 seconds going to put him back in 17th. So I thought 10 seconds was going to put him back there, but 5 seconds is going to put him back there. Really, I think it should be a lot more there. Of course, you know, these guys, they have a driver's license, right? Of course, they have a driver's license, but they have a driver's license specific to Formula One, and they can get points. They have points taken off for dangerous driving or for different things, and I'm sure Lance Stroll will get points taken off his license. Now, they're going to be careful, because if they end the year with no license, then they can't drive for the next year. Or if during the year they get points taken off that suspends their license, then they can't drive for the rest of the year. So they have to be really careful. And we've got Alex Albon fighting Alonso now for this 7th place. Will he manage to do it? We're going to find out here, and we've only got 1-2 laps more to find out. Verstappen is already on the last lap. And we see this incredible person called Florence Pugh, whoever that is. I have no idea. But I don't watch many movies. Well, I won't say that. I don't watch many newer movies, so I don't, unless they're really old actors like Clint Eastwood. I really don't know who they are. Well, that's not. I know not Charlton Heston. Who's the guy? I've forgotten his name already. The guy that plays in Indiana Jones. I know him. Well, I did know him. I can't remember his name right now. So here we are talking about actors on the last lap of the race, and Alex Albon is coming up. Is he going to be able to get past Alonso? Alonso is a clever guy, and he is. They've just started the last lap. Alex has got a couple of miles here in which to try and get past him, and he has DRS, so I'm sure he's going to be using DRS at every opportunity he can. But right now, the driving of Alonso is just a little too good. But Albon is right up on him. He's right up on his tail, and right behind Albon is Charles Leclerc. Let's see. Leclerc is not going to try and get past Albon at this point, because he's got DRS, and he's not going to get past him. And so the Formula One race comes to an end with Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, and George Russell as your top 5. So it's been a little boring at times today, but also a little exciting, and so it's really good to see things turn out the way that they did. We have the end cars coming over the track, so coming across around the track to finish off. So at the end of the race, Hamilton gained 4 places, and Perez gained 9 places, and those are really your winners and losers of the day. Albon's going to finish exactly where he started, unless he can't. Charles Leclerc was trying to get by him, but like I say, they've both got DRS, and so it's a moot point, and they all come across the finish line, and that is our race for the day, folks. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Thenology at thenology.com. If you need co-location, you need private cloud, public cloud, anything to do with data storage, server storage, then you need to be talking to the folks at Thenology. That is thenology.com. And Give, Send, Go. Give, Send, Go. If you've had something bad happen to you in your life, or you know of someone that's had something bad and they're trying to raise some money to help make things better, then Give, Send, Go is your place to go. No censorship, no nothing from Give, Send, Go. Just help, which is what is the most important thing in times of need. Also, if you're just starting a business, or your friends are starting a business, you want to help them raise money, then of course Give, Send, Go is the place to go as well. So that is givesendgo.com. And finally, of course, Moms for Liberty. Moms for Liberty, trying to bring education back into the schools, trying to encourage all of the parents out there to get involved with your kids' education. Get away from teaching all of this social stuff, which is not going to do the kids any good at all when they get out there into the real world and have to make a living. They need to get up and start teaching what needs to be taught, and that is math, science, English, those kinds of things. So please go to momsforliberty.org. That is momsforliberty.org. And finally, of course, we want to thank our producer and all things technical guru, Andre Kuhn, for yet another amazing day at the races. Thank you, Andre. And until our next race, which I think we have a week off and then we have another race, but maybe we'll do a history of the Formula One. Still haven't finished all of the drivers of the 1960s, so maybe we'll do one of those this week. And so until the next time I see you folks, this is the Formula One News Hour. Jonathan Steele signing off for the day. Thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you've got nothing to do, please go and watch all those wonderful tennis players as they try and win the Wimbledon tennis final.